Does anyone have any questions or comments, Greg Pickel, for you or I?
Yeah, so David checks in, as fate would have it, about David's story. David Jones, our colleague here at PennLive, wrote about Bryan Bresse this morning, the five-star recruit, defensive lineman, and a superstar, really, out of the Maryland area, 2020 kid. And he's curious about Bresse and then Julian Fleming, the five-star wide receiver from Pennsylvania, and where Penn State stands with both. I think it's a short and sweet answer, quite honestly, that Penn State sits in fine shape for both of them. But when you're talking about national level recruits that can legitimately go wherever they want today, I mean, today, tomorrow, 2 weeks from now, 2 months from now, 2 years when they were actually signed from now, you're never going to feel great until they actually commit to you. But I think Penn State at this early juncture sits in about as good of a spot as they can. Yeah,
and Bryan Bresse as a defensive line recruit, when you see a five-star defensive line recruit, they're kind of rare.
Yeah.
They're really rare. So everyone is going to be after, everyone all over the country is going to be after that guy. I think that might be the tougher kid to land. Wideouts, you know, there's 4- and 5-star wideouts, and they're a little bit easier to kind of find. I don't know. Bresse seems like he's going to be maybe one of the top 5 players in that class.
Right, no question. The next question is again about recruiting, which has sort of been a theme here. So, you know, Penn State has one 5-star, Brandon Smith. The question is, will they get another one? Possibly. I mean, to me, I think it probably depends if Devin Ford gets elevated to a 5-star or not, and that wouldn't be necessarily getting another one, but you have to. That's my guess.
Yeah. So didn't you mention that? I think earlier this week was there a defensive lineman like the defensive
Zach Harrison?
Zach Harrison, excuse me. Do they have any kind of shot at that kid? He's a 5-star.
More than they should for a kid in Ohio State's backyard that's a 5-star defensive lineman. I mean, he's been to campus a few times now. Again, they have more of a foot in the door than, again, they probably should for a kid that's close to Ohio State. I mean, 9 times out of 10, that kid's already committed to Ohio State by now. So, do they have a shot? Yeah. Is it a really, really difficult pool? No question about it. So, we'll see. I would say if they're going to get another 5-star, it'd probably be if Ford gets moved up. I just don't know if I see a top target out there that's currently a 5-star that will pick Penn State. And similarly, I don't know if I see a 4-star target out there or a guy that's committed that could get moved up to a 5-star status.
All right, are we done with the questions and comments? Is this a wrap, or we're going to go to one more?
If we don't have one more, I have one for you, Bob Flounders. What are you doing in the Belmont this weekend? Are you sticking with Justify or what?
I don't know. These are the questions Penn State fans really want to know. I'll keep it short and sweet. I'm going to play 2 horses together. It's Justify and Hofburg.
Okay.
It's going to be an exacta box. I don't like anyone else. I just hope it doesn't rain again. That poor horses had to run through some difficult conditions, and should be an interesting afternoon. But yeah, those are my 2 horses. It's an exacta box. Probably with a little bit of money on that one. How about you?
Okay, I'm going to probably go with Justify because I've went against him the first 2 races, which means he is going to lose. So we'll see. I don't know. But if I like him, you should use somebody else. One more. Trent Dilfer apparently said recently, according to David, I didn't see this, but that he was better than Mayfield and that he should be in the Heisman front runner. So your thoughts on that, I guess. Dilfer obviously has been wrong about one Penn State quarterback before. That was Christian Hackenberg. This is probably a little bit of a easier evaluation to make, considering what we know about Trace and everything he's done so far. But yeah, it's high praise for sure.
Yeah, I look at it too. I think there's 2 different things at work here. I do think that Trace McSorley should be on a very short list of Heisman Trophy contenders to start the season. I do think he has a little bit of a step forward to take, I think, to get to Baker Mayfield's level. I think he needs to raise maybe his completion percentage just a little bit more. Although, to be fair to Trace, I think when you look at the schedule Penn State plays, especially the schedule Penn State's going to play this year, they play a tougher schedule than Oklahoma does. Oklahoma only played maybe 1 or 2, I thought, decent defenses last year. Baker Mayfield had a great game in Columbus against Ohio State before they really had their act together. And he had a good first half against a good Georgia defense, but they kind of figured him out in the second half. I mean, I think that Trace can get a little bit better. He's going to need to probably take the next step where I would say he's better than Baker Mayfield, who did win the Heisman. But it's going to be fascinating to watch. And yes, Trent Dilfer is not shy about making bold statements.
He is not.
When I think about Trent Dilfer and Penn State quarterbacks' bold statements, right now he's 0 for 1. Let's see if he can get to 500.
All right. Well, David likes your exacta box as well, and I guess that'll do it for this edition of the Blitz, Bob.
All right. Who knows? By the time we get back next week,
maybe we won't be.
We could be talking about Penn State getting yet another blue chip out of Virginia, because that seems to be the way it's been going.